If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Sherwood Park, then this video is for you because I'm going to be looking at what's been going on in the Sherwood Park real estate market, looking at the most recent statistics available, which is essentially the month of February. We're about halfway through March right now, so we're looking back at the previous month to see what's been going on. So make sure you watch the video so you can stay in the loop. Okay, so if we're looking at Sherwood Park, the average price in February for all properties that were sold was $433,112, which is up 5.81% from January 2022, but technically down 0.24% from February 2021. You can see over here we've got the 13-month history. Last February in 2021, we were up 5.62% that month, and then up 1.3% in March, before taking a bit of a hit in April, down 2.73%, and then up 2.73%, and then down for a couple months, then up for a month, and then a significant drop in September. Went back up for a couple more months, October, November, took a bit of a dip again in December, and then we are up again. So how come there's such a roller coaster? I've mentioned this in my other update videos. Don't get too hung up on the average price trend. For Sherwood Park, it's a small market. There's not a lot of sales. So if you've got like a $2 million property that sells, that starts to have a big impact on the average price. It's a little bit more useful to actually look at it from a yearly perspective. So that's what this next section is here. For 2021, Sherwood Park was up 4.23%. So far for 2022, it looks like it's down 1%. We've only got 2 months on the books so far. So that will continue to change as we get further into the year. Looking at it as a whole for the year is a little bit more reliable stat when you're looking at average price trend, because you've got more sales volume in there, and so it's not as likely to be as skewed from like a $2 million property that sells. So far it looks like we're down for the year, but I do not buy that for a second given on what's going on in the rest of the market here. It's definitely more of a seller's market. A few more things I want to show you here, but I do want to remind you that I can give you a good overall view of what's going on in Sherwood Park right now. But the best way I can help you with your specific situation is if you reach out to me. So whether you're buying or selling in Sherwood Park or Edmonton, you can reach out to me at 780-819-5508. Either call me or text me, or email me at trevor@trevortardif.com, or you can always go to booktrevornow.com, select a time on my calendar, and then I will call you. So make sure to reach out to me so I can give you more specific advice. Now, if we compare Sherwood Park to Edmonton as a whole, Edmonton last year in 2021 was up 6.25%. So from an average price perspective, Edmonton did outperform Sherwood Park last year. And so far, Edmonton looks like it's up 3.34% for 2022, whereas we had the minus 1% for Sherwood Park. So not as strong as Edmonton from an average price perspective. That's not the whole story though. Again, these are averages. Way more specifics come into play when it comes to specific houses and neighborhoods. So that's what you got to look at. Now, if we just look at what's active and what's been selling in Sherwood Park, at the end of February, we had 110 active listings and 94 sales. So those numbers are not too far apart. Inventory was actually up slightly from January. It was up 4.76% from January, which is the first community I've looked at that actually had more inventory in February than it did in the month before. So bit of an outlier there, but our inventory is still massively down from last year, down 37.14% from February 2021. And the inventory is essentially referring to how many active listings are on the market. Now, sales volume with 94, we're up 56.67% from January, and technically down 6% from February 2021, which again is a surprise. Every other community I've looked at so far, our inventory is down month over month, year over year, and our sales volume is up month over month, year over year. So this one, it's a slight outlier, but it's not like it's down a lot. If we look at the balance of the market over the last 13 months, you can see that with us having 110 active listings and 94 sales, there's a pretty small gap there. The bigger the green bar, the more of a gap there is between the number of sales and the number of active listings in a given month. And you can see that it's pretty small right now, but it was also pretty tight last year. In February last year, we had a few more sales. We had 100 sales, but we did have significantly more inventory. So I would not be surprised if our sales volume is actually being constrained by the lack of inventory. There's clearly a lot of demand. If there was more houses available, I think they would be selling. So the supply is actually our constraint. That is causing upward pressure on prices, but it can also reduce the number of sales that happen. If there's not enough of the desirable properties that people want out there, yeah, there's gonna be upward pressure on prices for the ones that do come on the market and get sold, but there might be multiple other buyers that are looking for something similar, but there's just not enough properties. So that can actually start to constrain the number of sales that you have just simply because there's not enough supply. You can see things got really tight in Sherwood Park in March and April last year with 160 sales when we had only 187 actives, and in February where we had 214 actives and 179 sales. It did drop down after that, after we got out more into the summer months, but still it's been a strong market for the last year for sure in Sherwood Park. Basically for February, we're looking at an 85.45% listing absorption rate, which is strong seller's market territory. The odds of selling increased 49.54% compared to January, and the odds of selling increased 49.54% compared to February last year as well. So big increases. Strong seller's market overall. Average days on the market, 28 days. So that's pretty quick. You can see we were at 43 days in January, so we had a pretty big drop. Homes are selling 34.88% faster compared to January. They're also selling 24.32% faster compared to February 2021. So we reached our peak sales in terms of how quick homes sold in April last year when we had 26 average days on market, and then the same thing again in May. Pretty dang close to that right now. If things continue, that our numbers might drop even lower. So this is the market as a whole. If you want to download this report, I'll put a link to it in the YouTube description so you can download the report. But let's just take a quick peek at the single family home side and the condominium side separately. I don't want to spend too much time on it because they're even more skewed because you're looking at even smaller numbers. But just looking at the average price for a single family home in Sherwood Park, it was $493,750 in February, which was up 7.35% compared to last month and up 8.85% compared to last year. So pretty strong increase from last year. You can see that the average price trend for single family homes was up just over 5% last year, and so far it's looking up about 4%. So you can tell that it's not the single family homes that are technically down so far for the year. It's the condo market, which we'll look at next. So single family homes are really hot. If we look at the number of actives and sold, yeah, we're at over 100% absorption rate for single family homes. We only had 48 active at the end of the month when there was actually 61 sales. So if we had no new listings, we would be out of homes in less than a month, essentially. So 127% absorption rate. You can see that we've been essentially redlining for a while here. So we were basically the last 4 months, we've been selling more properties than are coming on a given month. So we're redlining. Last year, you could see it was also pretty intense, pretty much the whole year. We got a bit of a break in July and September and in October, but those are still seller's market numbers. So it's been a seller's market the whole way through for the last year, and it's getting more intense. 21 days, average days on market for single family homes. We reached a low of 19 days in April last year, pretty dang close to that right now. So single family homes are really hot in Sherwood Park. Now, if we look at condos, the average price for the condos that sold in Sherwood Park in February was $321,024, which is technically up 14% from last month. That seems like a massive increase, but again, it's really skewed by the number of sales. And this is where you have a much different picture. So we had 62 active listings at the end of the month and 33 condominium sales. So that's closer to that 53.23% range, so about close to the 50% range, which is still almost in seller's market territory. You could argue it's still kind of a seller's market. If we dug deeper and looked at townhouses versus apartment condos, it would probably even look different. But you can see that from an overall market perspective, it is actually the condos that are dragging the market a little bit. If you could even argue that it's dragging, because the whole market looks super hot. The single family home market is like really hot in Sherwood Park, and the condo market has heated up substantially from last month when we were at a 24% absorption rate. So, you know, maybe there's not enough single family homes to buy, so people are starting to buy the condos instead. So the condo market heated up substantially. And if this continues, it probably won't look as hot as the single family home market, but it's already getting hot. So overall, Sherwood Park, super hot market. There's not a lot of inventory at all. I see continued upward pressure on prices. We've already seen price gains, and it's probably going to continue unless we somehow end up with a bunch of new homes get built really fast, or a bunch of people decide to list their homes and then move somewhere else. Because if they're buying in Sherwood Park as well, they're not really creating new inventory. They're just flipping theirs and moving into another house in Sherwood Park. So if you're looking to buy or sell in Sherwood Park, make sure you reach out to me so you can get the advice you need. You can reach me at 780-819-5508. Or you can email me at trevor@trevortardif.com, or go to booktrevornow.com, select a time on my calendar, and I will call you. So hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Trying to get to 500 subscribers. I could use your help. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.